A Disabled Person Reviews Disabled Meteor, Part 119, the new Daredevil show. Now, I've reviewed Daredevil as a character before, but I was interested to see, since Marvel has been doing a lot of work around handling disability better over the last few years, if they'd change anything character-wise for this new show, and if that's even possible without undercutting Daredevil as a character. And I overall feel like they both sort of did change stuff and sort of didn't. The primary issue with Daredevil is that he is a cookie-cutter example of the supercrip trope, where a disabled character has special powers that make up for their disability, often ones that directly relate to sort of overriding the thing they cannot do or do not have, like having super sight powers because they're deaf, or somebody with high-tech prosthetic that is more effective in combat than their original limb would have been. Daredevil, being blind, has super levels of hearing and sensation, and I felt like the original show had a lot of he can sense things supernaturally that didn't really come up in this one. It was more that he just had super hearing, which balanced it a little bit more. Obviously, you can't negate the supercrip trope entirely because that would cancel out the entire point of the character, but at least bringing that level down a little did help. They did still include some stereotypes, like how he notices somebody has lost weight and gained muscle based on how the sound of their step has changed since he last saw them years before, and then he has a hyper recognition of accents, which he says is a blind thing, neither of which I think were really necessary for the plot or characterization and thus could have been cut, but that's a little bit nitpicky and I can acknowledge that. My other nitpick would be how frustrated I get with the use of quiet text flashed on screen as a visual cue for audience members in a show centered around a blind person. That just feels like a complete lack of creativity, but overall this character just kind of is what he is, but it seems like they did try to do a little bit to streamline it more than the original versions of him in this new show, so I guess they get points for that.